Hi, and welcome to Petersville Farm. We are now in October, and it's almost time to harvest some of the ginger and turmeric rhizomes. As I patiently wait during the harvest countdown, I decided to make this video to discuss where to grow your ginger and turmeric plants, their growing conditions and care, and the other beneficial family members, Black Turmeric and Galanga, added to this garden. Like ginger and turmeric, they provide fantastic health benefits. They could grow in the ground, but you should consider your grow zone. The direct ground option may work for zones 8, 9, and 10, as with the ideal soil conditions. And so let's discuss some other options where you could grow your ginger and turmeric. So you could also grow the ginger plants in pots. So here, this is a pot that will work. This is approximately a 3.8 gallon pot. Now I believe it's approximately 10 inches wide. You may want to use one that's wider than that, ideally 24 inches, and that's because the rhizomes of the ginger they grow horizontally. So even with this size here, this 3.8 gallon pot, the rhizomes are growing quite nicely. You can do a close-up of this. And then hopefully maybe if I give it if we can get 4 more weeks, we could have a good yield from this also. So in this area I also have some potted ginger and turmeric. This is the yellow turmeric. They're here under the shade structure. So this is the shade structure here that is currently being used. And the same goes in terms of for the potting. You want to be sure to have a wide pot. So this is also a 3.8 gallon pot, and it's working here, but even a wider one, and as I mentioned, 24 inches would be more ideal in terms of growing. What are the care and growing conditions of these plants? So water regularly, especially during the hot summer months. The frequency could decrease as it gets cooler, especially as we start the fall season. Then you could decrease that frequency of watering. So one of the things in terms of caring for your ginger and turmeric is that you want to basically have a shade structure. So this is one of the shade structure that I've used. This one is primarily consists of a type of shade cloth, and it's in the top section at Harbor Freight, but it works quite effectively. And you know, the key thing is, you know, a lot of times you may see open fields where they're planted in the open, but that could be that it's in an area with mild temperatures, because these plants are meant for the tropical, and here we're in zone 8. The heat could be extensive. It gets as much as 100 in the summer months, and so there's where the shade comes in handy, and they've done very well with that. And so it's very essential for here in zone 8 that you have some sort of shade structure by building a shade structure, or if you have a wooded area, that is something that you could experiment with also, to see how well they would do. In that way, at least if it's something that will block the western exposure to the light, that evening light, which is at the highest temperature, then that is something that would be helpful in that case. But with this one, with this structure, I basically have 3/4 inch. This is a 3/4 inch PVC pipe hoop structure that I make, and then they're zip tied with the shade cloth is zip tied to this hoop structure. In terms of the soil, I found that this worked well based on last year's harvest. And so this is a nursery mix, and it's comprised of double grounded pine bark, compost. It has some lime and organic fertilizer in it. And as I said, this works very well based on, if you go back and look at last year's harvest, this was quite a success. So this is what it looks like. If you have another suggestion that worked well also, let me know. But as I mentioned, this is double grounded pine bark. It's also organic compost, and it also have some organic fertilizer and lime mixture combining it. This, I also get it in bulk. I usually get it by the cubic yards at a time, and that way I'm able to fill quite a bit of container. So you see, this is quite of a bit of a wide container. This is a kiddie pool that I have used for that purpose. So in terms of the overwintering, when I'm during the harvest, I leave some into the ground. But what I do in terms of preserving them over the winter is that I'll cover the soil with some pine mulch. I use the pine straw mulch, and that was quite effective because the plants shown here, these were a result of those that were overwintered from the last season, and so they're doing well. I believe that helps because I have a shorter growing season. So by taking that approach, that gives me approximately 7 months of development of the rhizomes, and so that's pretty close to the 9 months. I think on average it's 7 to 9 months is reasonable. Is a reasonable period to harvest. They should be potent by that time. Do not restrict yourself to yellow turmeric and ginger only. There are other rhizomes you could add to the garden. They're readily available, but be sure to select the rhizomes that are organic and without possibly growth inhibitors. So this is a new addition for this year. This was not overwintered. These are also some yellow turmeric, and so I will not be harvesting these. I'm just gonna let them overwinter. So with that same strategy, I will add a thick layer of the pine straw to protect them over the cold spells. Here also I have some new additions. So these are some ginger. Not so new because they were in the pots, so I think I may be able to do some harvesting here. Let's see what they look like. They look like they could be harvested, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if that's a possibility. Now here is a new addition And this is what they usually refer to as the Galanga root. Sometimes it's called the Thai ginger. And the Galanga root, this spice is native to southern Asia. It's closely related to ginger and turmeric, and it also have been used in the Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese medicine for centuries. One thing is, well, this I planted perhaps I believe 4 months ago, so this also I will allow to overwinter. Galangal root has been employed in traditional medicine for various ailments. Now there are an increasing number of scientific studies that support that use. It is rich in antioxidants. It reduces inflammation and pain like the turmeric, and it may even protect against infections and certain types of cancer. More research is needed in this area. So one of the things about them too, just like the turmeric produces flowers, the Galangal root also produces its own unique flower. This is the Galanga root, and it's readily available at the stores. Now if you want to be able to sprout the store-bought one, make sure it's organic and it's showing these type of pinkish buds. Okay, and that's what will provide the new plant. So just be sure any one of these rhizomes, be it turmeric or the Galanga or the ginger, be sure that it's organic, and that way you will know that it will sprout. So this is the other area that overwintered last winter, ginger and turmeric. Now the turmeric, they're quite dominant, but there are also some ginger. If I go around, we're able to see some ginger. They're more in the back here. So here they are, but they're quite a bit of ginger rhizomes shown here, and I'm hoping to expand this collection. My plan is I may try some shade in the wooded areas and see what happens there. But we see that the overwintering well, and so here we will do some harvesting right there. Now, did you know that the yellow turmeric that's shown here have a cousin, and the cousin is the black turmeric? And so this is the black turmeric here, which is one of the additions that I had. So in addition to the Galanga, I added some additional turmeric. Here is the black turmeric plants. Now these were planted, perhaps they're in pots at this time. They're in the 3-gallon pots. These were planted approximately, I believe, 4 months ago. But even with the plants, you can easily distinguish. The yellow turmeric is simply the pure green leaves. The black turmeric, on the other hand, it has a distinct line symmetrically in the leaves. It looks like a bluish black, which is approximately the same color of the flesh of the turmeric itself. Now, black turmeric is also a native. It's a native of Northeast India and some other states. The root, as I mentioned, is bluish black, like the color, like this distinct color here. And it's said to provide more benefits than the yellow turmeric. It's rich in antioxidants, and it also possesses antifungal properties. So there'll be no harvesting of these, and I will have them overwinter, and perhaps we should be able to have some harvest for the next season following spring 2020. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to the Petersville Farm channel. Thank you.